Hi everyone and welcome to this Introduction to Drumline session. I'm Kizzy and I'm going to be working with you today on some snare drum techniques, rudiments and some pieces. Drumline is a fantastic ensemble style of music which usually has lots of marching snares which you might wear on a harness. We'd also have bass drum players, and again you might have different sizes, so small, medium, big bass drums, so you can kind of get some melodies down that line. You'd have marching toms, which are called quads, even though sometimes they have more than 4 drums, and of course some marching cymbals as well. Today we're going to be starting with the snare drum, which is a fantastic instrument, and you guys might already play the snare on your drum kit or in orchestras and things like that, but the great thing about Drumline is it allows you to get a bit more creative, try out some different and new things. So we're going to start with a little warm-up, and we're going to be playing today in matched grip. So for matched grip, holding both sticks the same, nice flat back of your hands, fingers tucked around but quite loose at the back. I point that out because usually in Drumline you would play in traditional grip. Now we are going to touch on this a tiny bit later, but for today we're going to start in matched. So grab your sticks, and here comes our first warm-up. Now this is a great warm-up I really like to do in my own practice, and it's something called a grid pattern. Grid patterns are really good because they give you a structure for practicing all sorts of different things. So here's our grid pattern, and we're going to start just as it says, putting an accent on the first one of each group of 4. Then in the second bar we're putting it on the second one of each group of 4, on the third, and so on. We're going to start just with these first 2 lines. So we're going to do first of all from the beginning just as far as there. Okay, let's give it a go. 3 and 4 and repeat. Wonderful. And the thing I really like about the grid patterns is that they're quite easy to remember. So you can learn them once by looking at the sheet, and then hopefully when you come back to them in your next practice, you should be able to remember those first 2 lines. Let's carry on to the next line, and what you'll notice on this third line is that we go down to just 2 repeats of each accent. So we're going to do twice on beat 1, twice on the second semi, and so on. Let's try it. 3 and 4 repeat. Nice, really well done. And then the final line, which is quite fun, just 1 of each. So this is quite sneaky. That repeat is going to come around quite quickly. Let's give that a go. Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to put the whole thing together now, and I think we could go a little bit faster. Now, of course, if you're playing this on a drum kit, one thing that's quite fun is to mix it up so that those accents, rather than playing it all on the snare, you might put the accents around the toms, or you might put the accents doubled with your feet. It's a really good one to work on your independence at the same time as evenness between the hands. Speaking of the accents, it would be great if we really treat those accents like normal notes, and everything else really like a ghost note, so nice and quiet. Okay, let's try that this time, and try and make sure that the accents on both hands come up to the same height and the same dynamic level. Whole thing together with the repeats. then you'll see down at the bottom I've written, once learnt, you can try inverting the sticking, so starting on your left rather than your right, or you can also change those accents for things like flams, drags, or doubles. So let's give it a go with the flams. Now we won't do the whole pattern, but you guys can come back to that in your own practice. Let's do just those first 2 lines, and instead of the accents, we're going to put a flam. And you'll notice that I swap hands for the flams, so continue to follow the sticking, even though we're adding in those flams. Let's give that a go. Just the first 2 lines with the repeat. Fantastic. And then the other one I really like is to add doubles. So instead of the accents, you put a little demi-semi double in there, like. And so on. And with this one, you can choose to do it with the accent or without the accent. It's quite fun to mix it up. Let's do it this time with the accent, just the first 2 lines with the repeat and the doubles, little demi-semis. Fantastic. So take these grid patterns, extend them, try them on different drums, try adding your own little rudiments to them. Mess up the sticking. They're really fun with with paradiddles on the semiquavers instead. Double paradiddles, triple paradiddles, paradiddle diddles. Go crazy with it. And like I said at the beginning, try and see if you can memorize these, because they're really good just to have in the bank when you've got 5 minutes to practice. Okay, I think we're feeling nice and warmed up, and it's really important to warm ourselves up, get our hands ready to work every time we come to practice. So today we're going to be working on a piece called Sticks Might Fly. It's a piece I wrote for Drumline. Hopefully it's a bit of fun. Now in Sticks Might Fly we're going to have a few different stick tricks, and I hinted earlier, we are going to do a tiny bit of traditional grip playing. So let's all just prepare for that now. So if you just put your right stick down for me, we're not going to use that for a second, but we are going to use our left. So pop that into your right hand, wrong way around. With your left hand, this is my left hand, L for left, out in front of you like you're going to shake my hand. Okay, now take that stick and put it in between your thumb and your hand, and you'll see I've got quite a lot of stick coming out there. Okay, maybe about 8 to 10 centimetres. Now with traditional grip, you should pretty much be able to play just like that. That is what we call your pivot point. So with matched grip, your pivot point would be between your thumb and your first finger. Okay, that's your pivot point there. The stick can move nicely. With traditional, that's your pivot point. The stick should be able to move nicely. Okay, then we're going to take fingers 4 and 5, these 2 here. We're going to bring them round so that the stick is sat in the middle joint of those fingers. So if I bring that round to show you, you can see that my stick is sat on that nice paddy bit between my 4th finger's middle joints. Okay, and the end of your finger can kind of curve around. So that's where your stick is going to sit, and look, I can bounce my stick nicely. Let's just all try bouncing our stick nicely there. Excellent. Now your middle finger isn't going to do anything apart from trying not to make a rude gesture at me. But your second finger, this one here, is going to kind of come round on top, not holding on, but it's there so that the stick can wobble in between those 2 places. So it's not holding on really tight, it's just there chilling, letting the stick move in between it. But like I said, the grip is all coming from your thumb. So if we just try a little bit of playing, and you'll see that most of that playing is coming from rotating my wrist. If we grab our right stick, just try that first bar of the grid pattern. Excellent. Okay, put that in your bank because we're going to come back to it in a little bit. Let's swap back over to match now. Both sticks in match grip. And this piece is called Sticks Might Fly. We've got 3 main sections to learn, so let's crack on with it. So, these 2 bars click at the top. That's because on the backing track we're going to play along to, you hear 2 bars of counting. We're going to start at letter A, and you'll notice in this letter A section, every time we have a pair of semiquavers, there's a double, a bit like the ones we added in the grid patterns. So rather than playing right, left, right at the beginning, I'm actually going to play right, right, left. Now, if you're left-handed, you can, of course, do this the other way around. That's absolutely fine. So I'm going to play right, right, left, and hopefully that will be a nice bouncy double, because when this goes faster, that's going to make my life easier. Okay, let's see if we can just play through that first 2-bar phrase. So we get 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's do that one more time. 3 and 4 and. If you can really bring out those accents, like I said earlier, imagine the accents are normal, everything else is ghost notes. That's what we're going for here. Nice. The second 2 bars, first bar is pretty simple. Let's try that. This is the 3rd bar of A. 3 and 4 and. And then the beginning of the 4th bar is nice and straightforward. Let's practice that. 3 and 4 and. And then over this big crotchet triplet it says, follow opposite hand with head. Now what I mean by that is here you're doing a flam onto your right. When you do that, I want you to look left, because if you see, when I do my flam, my left stick gets up and ready to play the next flam, and I go the opposite way, and then back over there. So I'm flamming onto my right, which means I look to the left, because my left stick is lifting. So it's going to go wiggly. And for triplets, I always like to say wiggly, because it means I can stretch out that word. Okay, so if we try just that triplet, 1 and 2 and wiggly. One more time, 1 and 2 and wiggly. Good job. Okay, super. So if we try that 3rd and 4th bar together, 3 and 4 and. Wiggly. Not bad. Whole of the first line together, 3 and 4 and. Okay, here's our first little stick trick. So in the beginning of this next bar, we do right, right, left, and then you can see there's an arrow over above the left. That's because after that note, I'm going to lift my left hand. So it goes right, right, left, right, right. And as I lift my left hand, I'm going to follow it with my head. So right, right, left, right, right. And then the left hand drops to play a 1-hand buzz. That's what that little Z strokes means. 1 hand pushing in buzz. So it's going to go 3 and 4 and. Nice. One more time. 3 and 4 and. Excellent. And then there's a little pick up into the next bar and at the end. And the following bar is the same. So let's put those 2 bars together. 3 and 4 and 4 and 4. And then this is the only bar where we don't play doubles for the semis. Single strokes here. Nice big crescendo up to fortissimo. Let's try this. This is bar 9, 3 and 4 and. Excellent. Let's try the whole of that second line. 3 and 4 and 4 and 4. Okay, let's try putting the whole of A together, and you'll notice that A has a repeat. We won't do that now, but remember that for later. Whole of A together, tiny bit faster. And do remember that you can pause now if you want to have a little bit of practice on that section. Okay, we're going to carry on now to letter B. And you'll notice at letter B we've got some new notation coming in. These little diamond notes that are above and then below the line, these are backsticks. The ones above the line are going to be a right hand backstick. So you're literally playing with the butt end of the stick. The ones below the line, left hand backstick. So if we try that first bar, 3 and 4 and, not bad, 3 and 4 and, fantastic. And then the second bar, can you see at the end of that second bar of B, you've got a dash through 2 of the notes. That's going to be a double double, like we did in the grid pattern. So you can see it says right, right, left, left underneath it. Let's put those 2 bars together from B, 3 and 4 and. Double double. One more time, 3 and 4 and. Double double. Okay, next bar is the same as the first one. And then the last bar, where we've got this slightly interesting rhythm, where it says forte, the words for this rhythm here are "we are the snare drums." And then at the end of the bar, we've got a roll here, and we're going to play 4 notes in that roll, like it's semi-focus. So that whole bar is going to go, "we are the snare drums, yeah, buzz, 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 buzz." Let's try putting that bar together. 3 and 4 and, "we are the snare drums, yeah, buzz, 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 buzz." Nice. And you'll notice the sticking for the "we are" there is right, left, left. And that gives your right hand enough time to do a nice little lift. So do try and put that in if you can. Let's practice that bar one more time. "We are the snare drums, yeah." Okay, whole of the first line of B. "We are the snare drums, yeah." Good news is, next 3 bars, exactly the same. And the final bar of B starts out the same, but then we get this nice little ending. Right, left, but, left, right, which is like this. Let's all just practice that. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. So together it's "we are the snare drums, 3 and 4. Let's try that. 3 and 4 and. "We are the snare drums." Not bad at all. Okay, whole of the second line of B. This is from bar 15. Here we go. 3 and 4 and. Double double. "We are the snare drums." Nice. Whole of B together, and let's throw the repeat in. 1, 2, 3, B. "We are the snare drums, yeah." "We are the snare drums." Repeat. "We are the snare drums, yeah." Double double. "We are the snare drums." Fantastic. Okay, really, really well done. So letter C, this is where things start getting a little bit interesting. First bar of letter C, let's just practice this for the rhythm. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's try that together. Sticking wise, right, left, left, right, right, right. Those rights are very important. Now, if you've been doing things starting on your left from the beginning, this is the chance to change to starting on your right, because the stick tricks all rely on your right hand leading here. Let's try that bar together. 3 and 4, and right, left, left, right, right, right. Now, whilst your right plays those last 3 notes of the bar, your left hand is going to do a simple little flip. So all I'm doing there, taking my left stick, pushing it forward with my middle finger so it spins round to the wrong way round. We don't want to do a full spin, just a half spin. Okay, and just to make it look cooler, I lift my left hand at the same time so that my hand ends up kind of at the top of my head. So if we try putting that together, 3 and 4 and right, left, left, right, right, right. One more time. 3 and 4 and right, left, left, right, right, right. Good job. Okay, super. Then in the next bar, starts with a right, and it says but for the left hand. Well, we're already the wrong way round, so that's just going to be, you're already the wrong way round. Then right, and then you'll see here it says matched to trad. So what you're going to do here is flip your left stick back into trad. There's no twiddling or anything. It literally goes from there into there, into my thumb. So it's there, into trad. Okay? So if we go from the beginning of that bar, left stick the wrong way round, right, left, left, right, trad. And you play that last note with your left hand. One more time, wrong way round, 3 and 4 and good job. So if we put that together now from the beginning of C, put your left stick back to match for me. Just check, both hands should be looking the same at the beginning of C. From the beginning of C it goes 3 and 4 and right, left, left, right, 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 but, right, left. Good job. Okay, if you need to practice that, rewind, go back through the steps. The next bar it says triple backsticking. This is where it gets interesting. For a minute, we're not going to need your left stick. Just remember we're in trad right now, okay? But just put your left stick down for me. Now we're going to do some triple backsticking. We've done some normal backsticking already. As the name implies, triple backsticking, you get 3 points rather than just 2. So the first place is just a normal note with your right hand. The second one, the butt end of your stick is going to come clockwise, so you play with the butt end. Now when I play that note, I'm kind of in this weird traditional grip with my right hand. Okay, so from there, round to the butt. Quite simple. That's going to be position 1, that's going to be position 2. Position 3 is the slightly weird one. So the tip of my stick comes round, still clockwise, over my arm, all the way across, so that I can play with the tip of my stick here. And it should end up in this kind of wibbly wobbly, slightly precarious position. That is position 3. Okay? Let's just go back to the beginning and do that all again. Position 1 is normal. Position 2, butt end comes round. Position 3 comes all the way over to there, and it's between my first and my second finger. Then what happens is what I call a whoop-pow. That's position 3, the end of our triple backstick. A whoop-pow goes over. And now I'm back to normal, but just the wrong way round. So we have to do the whole pattern one more time to end up back the right way. So this is in essence number 1 again. Number 2 comes round clockwise. Number 3 comes across my arm and round to the wibbly wobbly bit, and then over the top for a whoop-pow. So I'll just do that whole thing, starting normal. 1, 2, 3. Whoop-pow. 1, 2, 3. Whoop-pow. Back to normal. If you need to practice that, pause now, practice, have a little rewind, go back through it. Whilst you're doing that, you'll notice that in this bar, third bar of C, it's right, left, right, left, right, left, all the way through. So whilst you're doing that, your left hand, which remember is in trad, just plays a normal note in between each one. So it goes right, 2, 3, whoop-pow, 2, 3, whoop-pow. Let's do that slowly together. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Again, slowly. 3 and 4 and 1, tiny bit faster. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. There we go. So if we put that together now from letter C, remember at letter C you're starting both hands in matched. From C. 3 and 4 and right, left, left, right, 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 left, left, right, flip, rest, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Fab. If you need to practice that now, don't worry, it's quite tricky. Pause now, go back, look over that again. But that is the first line of letter C. Now we stay in trad for the second line. And you'll see here that we're playing on the rim of the drum. Now your left stick doesn't play like that for the rim of the drum because it's a bit awkward. So your left stick, staying in trad, just turns over. So now the back of my hand is facing the ceiling, but I'm still in trad. So this bar number 23, 3 and 4 and right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right, right, left, right. That's all I have to play. Let's try that together a bit faster. 3 and 4 and. And then you'll see it says sticks in on 1. Sticks in means putting your sticks in together like that. On beat 3, your left hand is going to come round and go on top. Then on the first beat of the next bar, sticks out on 1, you pull your sticks out and all of a sudden magically you're back in matched. Okay? And then the end of that bar is like the end of B. Right, left, but left, right. So if we try that from the beginning of bar 25, pop your left hand back in trad for me. It's going to go in, 2, on top, 4, out, 2. Cool. Back to trad. Let's try going from bar 23. 3 and 4 and. In, 2, on top, and out, 2. Nice. Let's put all of C together. Now you'll notice C doesn't repeat, so you only have to do this section once. Let's try putting that together from letter C. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Trad, rest, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, rest. In, 2, on top, 4, out, 2. Good. And then the really good news is D is the same as the beginning. So we've actually learned all the way to the very end. Let's try putting that together from C all the way to the end, and I think we can go a bit faster. Rest. Rest. In, 2, on top, and out, 2. I didn't carry on. Sorry, guys. Let's carry on to D. Let's go just from that sticks in bar. 2 bars before D goes. Ready, and in, 2, on top, out, 2. D. And that's the end. Okay, I think we can try now putting this whole piece together. So to make sure we can all see the whole piece, I am going to have to zoom out a little bit. So hopefully you guys can all still read the whole piece. Here we go. Sticks might fly. Full playthrough from the beginning to the very end with all of the repeats. And I think we can go a little bit faster. Here we go. From the very beginning. 3, repeat. 2, 3, B. We are the snare drums, yeah. We are the snare drums. Again. We are the snare drums, yeah. We are the snare drums. C. Triple backstick. Rest. In, on top, out, D. Really well done, guys. Absolutely fantastic. So I mentioned that usually in a drumline you'd have your snares, your basses, your quads, your toms, and your cymbals, and it's no different for this piece. So I've put together a little backing track that has all those parts in, because obviously I can't play them all at once. So we're going to have a go now playing that through with the backing track. I'll give you a little warning, it's quite fast. So if you want to stay and practice this for a bit before you try with the backing track, by all means pause now and you can practice it through. But let's have a go with that backing track for anyone that's raring to do that. Like it shows at the very beginning of the music, you're going to get 2 bars of click before we start to A. So listen for those 2 bars of click. You're going to hear, hopefully, nice and loudly. Good luck, guys. It's quite quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. Wonderful. Really, really good job, everybody. Fantastic. So do feel free to practice that one, have a go at playing it through with the backing track, and I hope you've enjoyed this introduction to drumline.